Right, 31 July 2024, and today is the very last day of the month, and we're going to be in August tomorrow. So this is amazing. We are going through this year like faster than expected. And today I've got a story that I've been carrying for a very long time. And this is to do with Mnangagwa's failure to finish projects. It's becoming an embarrassment. Every project that Mnangagwa has started is failing to finish. And today I'm going to feature the Mbudzi Interchange. This is a very embarrassing project for Mnangagwa, and it's causing chaos in Harare. Traffic is a mess around the Mbudzi Interchange. So I'm going to take you through this project. This is the Mbudzi Interchange, and this is supposed to have been completed today. So this was the deadline for the Mbudzi Interchange. Today we're supposed to be opening all the roads at Mbudzi according to the plan. However, this has not happened. Clearly, you can see that the road is not open. And the Mbudzi Interchange is a very complicated project. So I want to take you through this picture. So what you're looking at here is the Mbudzi Interchange when it's completed. It's got 15 bridges and 8 on-ramps and 8 off-ramps. The road that you're looking at the center here is the road to Masvingo, coming from Harare CBD. The road underneath is the road to Chitungwiza. And then there'll be interchanges to High Glen and all those areas around there. So that is the Mbudzi Interchange. It was supposed to be completed today. It's currently being constructed by a consortium of local engineers. And unfortunately, the local engineers have failed to complete the project, and not a single road has been opened over the past 2 years. Work has been taking place here, and cement was being supplied by Tagwirei. Tagwirei's company was supplying cement here. They failed to supply cement. The property owners around here, if you look at the buildings around here, have taken the consortium to court. So there's a court case and they cannot proceed. And people around here who are in this market have been inconvenienced greatly. This is the current state of the bridges. The bridges are not complete. A lot of the bridges are still under construction. And you can see that this thing is not moving. This is the way it's been for a very, very long time. It's just standing there doing nothing. And the reason is Tagwirei cannot supply the cement, and also the court cases. As you can see, nothing is happening here. It's basically where it was supposed to be if it was a beginning project, not where it is right now at the end. We're supposed to be opening today. So look at this road. It was supposed to be looking very nice like this. But at the moment, nothing has happened. The Mbudzi interchanges became an embarrassment, and it has stopped. So everything has literally stopped. There is no movement taking place here. And 88 million has already been spent on this project. Most of the money going into the pockets of Mnangagwa's friends and relatives who form the Tefoma consortium. So it's an embarrassment, but it's to be expected. All the projects that Mnangagwa has started have not finished, and this includes the SADC roads. This also includes the construction at Rainbow Hotel. It is not completed. Therefore, the presidents of SADC are now going to just come in the morning on the 17th, have an opening ceremony, and at the same day have a closing ceremony and leave. There is not a single president of SADC that is going to sleep in Zimbabwe because of the reasons that I have given you in the past. So that is crazy, but that is the story for today. I now want to take you through a number of stories, and let us start with what's happening with the 78 arrested CCC activists. And this is a very sad story for me. These guys have been in jail for the past 43 days. In fact, 44 days. So let me take you through what has happened with them. So I want to display the picture so that you can see them. These are real people who are going through a very hard time. So 78 opposition activists from the CCC party have been in jail in Zimbabwe for the past 44 days without trial. And yesterday, the lawyers have applied for the judge to dismiss the charges because the charges are fake. They're not real charges. These guys were inside the building and they did not do anything. They were not planning to cause any violence and they were having a trial on June 16. So today, the judge is going to deliver a ruling on whether the charges are going to be dismissed. And the lawyers here is Agency Gumbo and Jeremiah Bamu. Those are the guys who are representing these people. And Timba, the acting CCC president, and these 78 people, young women and men, have been in jail for the past 44 days without trial. What an embarrassment for Mnangagwa to have SADC summit at the same time, have people in jail, opposition members in jail without trial for no reason. So that is why Mnangagwa is desperately trying to get this trial started. But unfortunately, people cannot just go to trial for something that they did not do. That is why the lawyers are applying for a dismissal of the charges. So this is the current situation. We are expecting these people to be released today if the judge gives the judgment that they must be released, because the lawyers have applied for dismissal of the case. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that the judge will rule that there's no case and these people will be out today. By Friday, these people will be out. I can assure you of that. There is no case here. And Mnangagwa and SADC, they must be brought back to line. I wrote to SADC, I wrote to the presidents of SADC, and this is the reason why they end up coming to court, because the attention on this case is so crazy. Mnangagwa is doing something that has never been seen in the whole world, where someone can just arrest 78 people and keep them in jail for no reason. Then let's go to other stories. I want to quickly go to South Africa. And South Africa has got a lot of interesting stories. But today, the most trending story is this young lady here. So let's turn off that camera. So this young lady is Chidima, Chidima Vanessa, and Adechina. So Chidima Vanessa Adechina is a Miss South Africa contestant and finalist. She's in the top 13. So there has been a petition by South Africans to remove her from the competition because she's got a Mozambican mother and a Nigerian father. And this case has been trending because she was seen with some Nigerian people celebrating a win. So many people believe that she must not contest here. She is a 21-year-old netball player and she's based in Cape Town. So although she's South African, South Africans want her to be removed from the competition, saying that she's not South African enough and she must leave the competition. So let's see what happens. The Minister of Sports, Gayton McKenzie, has intervened in this case. And let's see what happens. Are they going to remove her as a contestant because she was born in Soweto? So let's see what happens if the South Africans succeed in removing her as a contestant. Then coming to business, we've got a case where the Competition Commission has ruled that DSTV was justified from removing 4 of the channels of ETV or e-media from their platform. So DSTV has removed 4 channels of ETV from their platforms, which has resulted in a massive drop of revenue for e-media. So the channels that were removed include eTunes, Movies Extra, and E-Extra. So these are some of the channels that were removed. And ETV had access to 12 million viewers who were coming from DSTV. And by removing these channels, it means that advertising is now very less profitable for ETV. But the commission has ruled that this is not uncompetitive behavior, and ETV should just live with it. So if you used to watch ETV on DSTV, you know that those 4 channels are no longer present. Then I want to go to the SADC Industrialization Week. This is crazy. Look at what we're seeing here. No one is coming to this thing. And this is all because of the human rights abuses. Zimbabwean companies are boycotting South Africa, Angola, all these countries from SADC, Namibia. They've boycotted this event because of the human rights abuses. 78 people in jail in Zimbabwe during the SADC summit, the SADC Industrialization Week. And this has affected this event. No one wants to be associated with what Mnangagwa is doing, which is crazy. And so you can see that this exhibition, which is at the Rainbow Hotel, is not worth going to. It's more like a local Saturday market. It's not a real SADC Industrialization Week. Yesterday's presentations made me very sad. The first day was good, but the second day I was not so impressed. However, the funders are scrambling to try to get into the action in Southern Africa, in SADC, and they don't seem to care about the human rights abuses. They're willing to walk through blood so that they can get money. And this includes UNIDO and also a bit of EU. I don't know why EU is involving themselves with SADC when SADC is supporting Mnangagwa on what he's doing. And also Mnangagwa is going to be chairperson of SADC. Today, Mnangagwa is going to be addressing the SADC Industrialization Week. And this is crazy. I cannot believe, Kuti, people are not bringing him, questioning him on why he's arresting these people who are sitting in jail right now. That is the biggest story right now, even bigger than SADC. And then I want to go to a feature. So let's go to a feature. The Chronicle newspaper has featured this young lady here. She's called Tariro Gezi. So Tariro Gezi is heavily involved with some ZANU-PF guys like Namagaya and so forth. And she's been featured here because of her involved in Miss Teen of the Universe Zimbabwe. And she has told her story for the first time. Tariro Gezi says she was born in Bulawayo and she went to school around Bulawayo and Gweru, then did her A-levels in Chiredzi, after which she went to Harare and worked as a sales assistant at Edgar's. And as a teenager, at that very time, she got married and went and lived in Mount Pleasant with her husband. But by the age of 21, her marriage had already fallen apart, and she was now selling on the street. Selling, no, not selling that thing, selling lollies, ice cream. That's what she was selling. So Tariro says she was selling lollies on the street, and she was now living in Wadzana from living in Mount Pleasant. And then she met a social media influencer who assisted her to move from selling lollies. And let's see who's the name of that social media influencer. The social media influencer is Becky K, who assisted her to move away from selling lollies. And she moved on to become, right now she is an MC, a radio presenter at ZFM. And she's also well known on social media, including what she's doing now with Miss Universe, or Miss Teen of the Universe Zimbabwe. So if you're interested in Tariro Gezi, check out what is going to be happening. There is an event happening this week. I think it's on the 3rd, where they're going to be showcasing Miss Teen of the Universe Zimbabwe. And she is one of the people that are in front or leading this event. So that's Tariro Gezi over there. Very popular young lady, usually compared with the Kiki. Kuti They are normally compared because of their features. Kuti, who is better, who is bigger over there. So that is Tariro Gezi. It's a feature. Check it out in the Chronicle newspaper, one of my best newspaper. I like that newspaper because they go on the street. Then what I want to do now is let's wrap up because I need to go. I need to go to the gym. You can see my weight gain is starting. Today is the coldest day in South Africa, 0 degrees in Cape Town. So it's very, very cold. And I want to get warm this morning. But in terms of trade and business, South Africa has signed a new agreement with the United States of America called TIFA, Trade and Investment Framework Agreement. And now they're going to go for AGOA. They want to go and renew that agreement with the United States of America. The South African economy doing very, very well after the agreement or GNU. So a GNU is very good. That is what we need to be looking at as Zimbabwe, to put our country together, to put our country back on the road to success. At the moment, Zimbabwe is a mess under Mnangagwa. So we need to go for fresh elections. We need to go for a transitional system, and we need to change and fix all our systems. So that is what the South Africans have done with their own country. I now want to look at the newspapers. Let's see if H Metro newspaper has published. So just allow me to drag this thing here. H Metro newspaper, normally full of my drama. So Mkomongu Charuko, he is one of the best editors in the whole of Zimbabwe. So please tame the beasts. Monsters are back in town. Money changers change tactics, operating from cars and serving non-clients only. A group of women has returned to the corner of Semyoma and Agostino Neto Avenue in Harare. Since it's H Metro activities returning to the legal dealers' WhatsApp groups amid chatter about rates. So yesterday I told you about the fake ZIG. What is the fake ZIG? The fake ZIG is banks are creating fake money, which they are dumping onto the market, and they are accelerating the dumping. So the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe is helpless. The ZIG is going to crash, and it's going to crash parabolically. That thing is not money, it's fake. The ZIG is so fake that by December, it will be down to zero. Or we're going to say it's going to be worth nothing. So if you own the ZIG, when you see the ZIG, buy something. Do not keep it, do not bank it. The ZIG is not money. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe does not know how much money is in the banks. Because what the banks have done is that when moving from the Zimbabwe dollar to the ZIG, they've put a lot of fake money into the system. They're just waiting for the right moment, and they dump it into the market through selling of US dollars. And they do it through the electronic ZIG. So the electronic ZIG is the problem. It's fake. And most of the money that you're seeing on the electronic ZIG is not true money. And they do what is called banning. Banning is where they create an account, they fund it, they go and swipe on the black market, and then they delete the account. That is total fraud. And I've been telling the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, Kuti, that thing is going to crash. And by December, you're going to see the ZIG is going to be worth nothing. That is why these people are on the black market, and you will never, ever be able to have a currency in Zimbabwe with the current team at the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. I told John Mshayavano, the first thing you must do when you get to the Reserve Bank is to remove the deputy governors, everyone in audit, everyone who is related to putting money in the market, and everyone in market surveillance. He didn't do it, and now we are seeing the results. Those guys will never stop. Some of them are billionaires. I'm a billionaire at the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, because all they do is to steal and change money. And the ZIG is going to go the way that all the other currencies has gone, which is to crash and to make everyone lose value like before. So let's look at, so thanks very much, Mkoma Sharuko. And this story is very important. It needs to be told. Do not hide the facts of what is happening in Zimbabwe. People are being made to lose money every single day. There is no year that passes when you don't lose money. I went to Harare last year, and I showed you As I drove from Masvingo to Kariba, the rate started at 13. By the time I arrived in Kariba, the rate was now at 60. I was literally shocked at how the rate is collapsing. And this is because of the big players, not the little players that they are arresting. The people that are stealing money in Zimbabwe causing the zig to collapse. It's the banks, it's the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. Those are the two groups of people that are causing the zig to collapse. And that thing will never work. It will always collapse. And then let me look at another story. Let's see if there's any story here of interest in the H Metro. I don't want to read the full story newspaper for you. Otherwise, Mkoma wangu Sharoko will come here and charge me $3,000. Is it 3,000 or 10,000 that they are threatening to charge with? All right, I think that is what we have over there. Let's look at the Herald newspaper. I want to show you guys the Herald newspaper very quickly. Herald Zimbabwe. So the Herald Zimbabwe is leading with the story of the Zambians. The Zambians are coming to Zimbabwe. They want to have an agreement with Harare over the membership or the presidents of the African Development Bank. This has put them in a desperate position where it's almost appearing as if Zambia is desperate to please Harare. And look at that. This is one of the former vice presidents. We yesterday went and visited Mnangagwa. So he's called President Mnangagwa interacts with Zambia's former president, Enoch Kavindele, after their meeting at State House in Harare yesterday. I'm going to put for you the video of Mnangagwa's meeting with former President Kavindele, former Vice President Kavindele. And it's clear that Zambia desperately wants to become the president of African Development Bank. There's one guy there who is at the World Bank who they want to put over there. Let's see what happens. But I believe that this is the wrong move for Zambia. They mustn't associate themselves with ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF, a very dangerous party, especially under Mnangagwa, who's been arresting people and keeping them in jail without trial. These guys, 44 days in jail without trial, the worst thing ever to happen in Zimbabwe. Now let's recap. Mnangagwa has failed to complete the bridge or the Mbudzi Interchange. The Mbudzi Interchange was supposed to open today, but it has missed its deadline and we don't know when it's going to finish. The Mbudzi Interchange that you're looking at here has got 15 bridges and 8 on-ramps and 8 off-ramps. The reason why this bridge is not finishing is, firstly, Tagwire is failing to supply cement. Secondly, there is court cases relating to the land around this interchange. So they've not paid the landowners. And thirdly, there's massive corruption where money was looted, which was supposed to be given to the members of the public who own land in this area. So most of that money has gone to ministry officials. One of them has been arrested and is currently in jail. So this is currently how it looks like. The Mbudzi Interchange is looking like an empty piece of land. They've not completed the earthworks. They've not completed the civil works. And nothing is happening at Mbudzi. The bridges have not completed and work has stopped. So what an embarrassment of a project Mbudzi Interchange has become. It was supposed to have completed, but it hasn't completed. Today was supposed to be the day. I am giving this project another 2 years. So it's going to be late by 2 years at a minimum. Mbudzi Interchange, one of the worst projects that I've ever seen. But I don't think this can beat what was done by Chiangwa and Pamire there by Waterfalls. There's a little bridge, Karipo in Harare, that took years to finish. As you drive into Harare there by Waterfalls, these guys just don't do well when it comes to these projects. I pray that this doesn't go beyond 2 years because that would be a mess. People have to spend hours right now trying to get into Chitungwiza because of these diversions and detours. And it's becoming a mess. All these projects that Mnangagwa started, have not completed. And as you drive further towards Masvingo, there are massive portions of the road that are not done. As you drive towards Bedbridge, there are massive detours that can go for 30, 40, 50 kilometers, which are not completed. And your tires get damaged. The engine can even drop because of the way that this road is not done. What a mess. And this is all because of the way that Mnangagwa has been running his projects. So let me end this here. Tonight, I'll be back here. And let's talk about what Mnangagwa would have said today. The threats are escalating. They're saying that whoever attempts to demonstrate, they'll shoot to kill. And yesterday, George Charamba said they're going to shoot to kill. You can see that statement in the Herald newspaper. George Charamba, spokesperson of Mnangagwa, saying anyone who attempts to demonstrate will be killed. So you can go and check it over there. Crazy country, Zimbabwe, being run by a maniac in terms of all these statements. Let's look at Mkova Josino says, grammar yako is like a failed language. So why not use Shona and Ndebele? I will never use Shona and Ndebele because 50,000 people watch Gambakwe media on a daily basis, and most of them don't speak Shona and Ndebele. Then Mkoma Timbers, 22 people watching, but only 13 likes. Yes, I don't care about the likes. Watch what will happen. We are changing our country. Let's create a fresh, new country where there is peace, a culture of peace and dialogue. Not who is stronger, who can kill more people, who can arrest more people. You see, we want a country that works, a country that is amazing. And we're going to create that country as young people. The energy that we must bring to our country must transform our country to a point where everything works. That is what we want. Mkoma Thomas says, is Tariro Gezi still a teenager? No, Tariro Gezi is not a teenager. She is a single mother. You know, now that you ask me, I thought she was staying in Australia. I don't know why I thought that. And I thought she was married to some guy who married to Australia. Strange, right? Mkoma Takura, she was selling those things. It's possible. Tariro Gezi, I don't know her, but she looks amazing. Look at that dress, Tariro Gezi. And she's often been compared with Kiki Badass. Sorry, Kiki. Kiki is got a bad attitude, but she looks good. So normally, girls who have got, sometimes girls tends to get it into their heads when they look beautiful and they become a problem. But what do I know about beautiful girls? Now let's go to Mkoma Ernest saying, good morning, Gambakwe. And Komasan Harvest, President Mnangagwa, the chair of SADC, Uzida. Yes, one of the worst SADC presidents, Mnangagwa, failing to finish any project that he starts. That is the difference between Mnangagwa and General Chiwenga. General Chiwenga finished all his projects that he starts. Mnangagwa, the problem is you can give him half an answer and say, President, the Mbudzi interchange is not finished because of the sanctions. And he's going to agree, Kuti, yes, the Mbudzi interchange is not finished, the sanctions. It's not true. Corruption, a failure to plan, and stealing. That is the reasons why the Mbudzi interchange is not finished. So, Mnangagwa, give him half an answer, and he's going to accept it. Vapana varikuita ma-projects vanate former varikufamba slow vachinyeba kuti president 11 bridges he finished this month, and then next month say president 9 bridges because 11 parents. What happened now? What happened? 9 bridges. That is what's happening in Nanate former. Look at this mess. Come on, guys, do something about this. There is no way that these metals have been standing like this, and all those workers who are here have gone. There's no more workers here. What a mess. Mnangagwa's projects. How are we going to move from here, going into after SADC? We have to do something massive because the whole of Zimbabwe is now a construction project. The dams are not complete. The bridges are not complete. The roads are not complete. The freeways are not complete. Nothing is complete. It's a total mess under Mnangagwa. So I'd like to thank all of you for watching. I'll be back here in the evening. Let's build our country. Let's build a fresh new Zimbabwe. And let's stop this damage by Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa Arkuraivan Nenzara. Mnangagwa is destroying our country. Thank you very much for watching.